Good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. Today is Monday, September 8th, day 5 of the 30-day challenge. Me, the discretionary trader, trading strictly my levels and volume based strategy versus the rule and condition mechanical based strategy that is purely automated, purely based off of my strategies that I have been trading for about 3-4 years now. And it's been a very interesting challenge, just to get you up to speed. As far as the mechanical strategies, they're currently down $156 for the month. My discretionary volume based strategy is up $324, and that is based off of 4 days of trading. Each day we have had a trade and a winner on each day, finding our A plus setups, which hopefully we can find another one here. So, gave you guys a bunch of the weekly bands and the levels from yesterday. Let's see if I can. Here we go. I gotta put this back on. There we go. Here are the weekly bands and the levels that I gave you guys from yesterday on the NQ and the ES. So let's see if we can find some A plus setups coming up right after the intro. As always, trading futures is risky business. Any capital that is put out there is at risk. All right, so let's map out our high volume nodes here. So I got a nice chunk of volume right there. Got a nice chunk of volume. I would say, well, I think we can, we had a kind of a setup there, but you know what? We'll map this guy out right now. Smaller piece down here, and I think that's pretty much all we got to do for the ES. No high impact news today. Trump is speaking, I think, at 9 or 9:10. Let's take a look at the NQ. NQ's got this volume pocket now sitting up here, which is in the low value area. We've got another peak, I would say, right here. We've got a big peak right here. Let's just kind of bring this in from here to about there, and a really juicy spot right here. All right, that should be enough on as far as some nodes that we want to take a look at, some high volume pockets that we want to take a look at. So now we can jump down to the 15-minute, see if we see any levels. All right, we got a nice level right here, sitting at the 23,548. Didn't really break any structure though, so not the greatest, but this was a huge move to the downside. So to break structure just based off of this level would be a little difficult, but it has retraced probably 3/4 of the move. We had this 23,910 that was a setup for Friday, but volume really dropped off off a cliff actually there, and currently not an area that I'm super interested in right now. We'll see when price action comes up here if volume starts to build up at the 93.10. We got a spot right here, a level, but again, I'll look at that. This was kind of this is what I'm looking for. It's a kind of like that slope where the volume picks up as you go down. So, and to come right back up should be a pretty easy spot. I think that actually right there looks pretty juicy. 23,679, which I believe coincides with one of the levels. Thought it did. 23,679. I thought it was one of our levels. I might have just might have just done something by putting this there. All right, well, I'm gonna I like that one. I like this one. And I guess it's pretty much, let's just see if we get a big drop. Oh, we got a nice level right there at the 23,437. But as you can see on the volume profile, it's on the bottom side of the volume node, which is not what I would want to be taking for a long. I would want to be above here. And I don't see any other level that hasn't been tapped into. That already got tapped into. All right, let's jump into the 5-minute. All right, so this 23,267, we got a 5-minute level right there. Dot this guy. So we're kind of formulating a plan here, but looking at price action, the ledge is right here. This is the ledge that I would want to trade off of right here. Don't want to be necessarily right here. So not the greatest. This is where I would want to be positioned if I was going to be taking an entry. And at 699, not a lot of interest yet. Not a lot of interest yet here. So I'm going to dot this as an area that I will be looking at. And this is an area that I'll be looking at. And then this would be an area that I could, I think, safely use as a stop loss. Okay. If we were to get into this entry, first TP right here seems very simple. That's only about 6 points, not the greatest. That would be a TP2, which would be about about 11 points. Not the greatest. Not the greatest. Not the greatest. This looks interesting right here. We're not in a high volume. Yeah, no. 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 Let's see above. I mean, this made sense, but again, we got to see this 23,910, see how volume is. To be honest with you, nothing on the NQ right now looks super interesting besides these two levels. And they're not really in a high level area. I mean, they are more than even this one, but let's see what the ES shows. So let's drop into the 15-minute. All right, we got a big old level right here on the 15-minute. We knew that. And we got another level right here. Okay, I like it. And we have this level still from the 6481. That looks really nice, actually. Let's take a look at what volume's doing. 6481. 6481. Okay, I like that still. I like the 6481. You're kind of, let's see what's happening above it. 84. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, 84, 82, 84. This is an area of high volume, 6484. I like this peak right here, though. Good level of defense at 6474. All right, let's see what the 5-minute shows us. Let's see. Yeah, this is a... And we could probably reduce our stop. Maybe even to somewhere like right around there. That seems like a pretty easy trade. 6481. All right, I'll take a look at that for sure. And then we had another setup down here. This one again was, I think, from Friday. And I kind of like that setup here, 6451. I could delete this volume thing so it cleans up the chart. 64.70. Let's just take a look really quick and see what's happening there. So we did have a movement up. Nothing really that broke structure though. Not liking that one. All right, so as of right now, I'm going to delete this guy. I'm going to delete this guy. On the ES, I'd be looking at 64.81 and 64.51. NQ, as of right now, nothing super interesting. But so what I will do as price action develops and volume starts to pick up here on a Monday morning, I will come back and give you guys any updates on any setups that I see. See you guys in a little bit. Stick around for the trades. All right, so quick update here for this morning. Just an absolute ton of volume stacking up again at this 23,900 to 905. So just told people in my Discord group that there's a lot of stops sitting right here. There's I think 400 contracts sitting up here. So I said either if the shorts can defend it, this is going to come right back down to this 23,820. But if they can blow through it, your next area of rebalance is going to be that 23,945 number, which would be somewhere right around here-ish. So we'll see what happens here at the open. On the ES, the only thing I see here is a possible long at the 2485.25. And probably targeting this 6490 area, 6489. And I've got another entry that I could say is possible second entry. Conservative play would probably be a stop loss right here at 6480. But I could use this as a second entry if I get some confirmation here going forward. But I would consider this probably a B plus setup, not a super A plus setup. So I will definitely need to see confirmation at the 64.85 if I do take this quick long here. So let's see what happens with price action. All right, so a little update here. Took a loss in oil session 2. That one's been struggling since the beginning of the challenge. No trade in oil here this morning. We did get into a 15-minute Rob reversal. I actually like the setup a lot. As I think I mentioned to you, there's just a shit ton of volume sitting at the 23,900. And there's 190 contracts at the 23,900. And there's 450 contracts sitting at the 904, which is why I gave this little text message. I put this little note that I would have closed this trade at 23.9, but that's not part of the rules and the strategy. So I'll keep it at the 23.903 where it's 35 points of profit. As far as the levels, so the this setup up here, just, I don't know, to me just doesn't really... There's 43 contracts sitting at 23,912. It's going to need a lot. It's going to need a lot to get through this 23,900. A lot of stops sitting there. So just not a super A plus area for me to trade. I'll see if once price action gets up there, if there's any change in volume sitting at that peak. And on the ES, again, still same setup that I'm looking at, but we're pretty far away from price action where it currently sits. So I'll give it here till about maybe 11:30, and then probably cut it for the day. Again, this has just been pure chop. A lot of chop here this morning. No A plus setups, and that's really what I'm interested in trading. So it's really about discipline. That's what this game is all about. So let's see what price action develops here, and we'll see if we get a trade. Take care. All right, so I think I'm going to be calling it a day here. Markets were just absolute chop today. No A plus setup, nothing. I had a setup here on the ES that I would have definitely like to take a look at it, but this has just been pretty much 4.5 hours of just pure chop. And sometimes that's what trading involves is not trading. Looking for, again, your A plus setups and not just wanting to hit the buy and sell button like crazy. That's the easiest way to absolutely destroy the account. As far as mechanical strategies, took a loser in oil, session 2. Took a nasty loss, actually, in the 15-minute Rob reversal. This, I think, at one point was maybe 20 points in profit. 68.86. I think is almost 20 points of profit on there, but just didn't have the legs. And then we got finally stopped out there for the 35 points. So $70 loser here, and not necessarily sure what kind of. Let's see, that was 16 ticks, so $32 loser in oil. So if we take a look at the challenge, kind of a boring day in general. Mechanical strategies are sitting at a loss of $263. There you go. And the discretionary levels trades, no trades today, so still up $324. With 4 days traded last week, 100% win rate last week, no trades today. So kind of a boring day for the challenge, but there's always tomorrow. Listen, I would really appreciate if you guys can like the video. If you guys like this style, this is kind of going to be, I think, my intro into eventually, obviously, going live. I think that there would be some value there to members and to people that follow my channel. And if you are thinking of getting funded, that's one way to support the channel is just use code TraderRob. I've got discounts with Funding Ticks, Apex, Tradeify, and Take Profit Trader. Tradeify had some good news out today, or I should say some updates today that were put up on my Discord. But in general, Tradeify now is offering bigger payout caps on growth and advance accounts, which was nice. They are no minimum trading days to payout, which is also pretty nice. And the consistency target for the Lightning funded accounts went down. So for payout 1, now you're looking at a 20% consistency, and then it's got a sliding scale on your different payouts. So some nice updates there with Tradeify. If you're interested with them, like I said, support the channel. Use code TraderRob. I know you could use any code from anybody you watch, but if you get any value from the channel, support it. Thanks, everybody. See you guys tomorrow.